Walking is the best exercise for seniors. We've all heard this advice, but a groundbreaking 2022 study published in the Journal of Gerontology suggests something surprising. Relying solely on walking after age 70 might actually accelerate certain aspects of aging, rather than slowing them down. I'm not saying you should stop walking, far from it. But according to Dr. Elizabeth Richards, a leading geriatric specialist at Harvard Medical School, walking alone simply isn't enough to maintain optimal health as we age. Our 5-year longitudinal study following 200 adults over 70 revealed something fascinating, says Dr. Richards. Participants who only walked as exercise experienced nearly 24% more functional decline than those who incorporated a more comprehensive movement routine. Now, this might sound counterintuitive. After all, walking is excellent for cardiovascular health, mood elevation, and maintaining basic mobility. It's certainly better than being sedentary. But here's what many health professionals aren't telling you. Walking primarily exercises just one movement pattern while neglecting critical systems your body needs to maintain independence and vitality. In today's video, I'll share the 5 essential factors that leading geriatric specialists now recommend alongside walking. Each of these look to aspect of age-related decline that walking alone cannot prevent. The 5th factor, which we'll discuss toward the end, is particularly overlooked. Yet according to recent research, it might be the most crucial for maintaining mobility into your 80s and 90s. Before we continue, I want to emphasize that every body is different. The approaches we'll discuss should be adapted to your personal health situation. If you have existing health conditions or concerns, please consult with your doctor before making significant changes to your exercise routine. Now, let's explore why strength training becomes increasingly vital after 70 and how even modus resistance can dramatically slow the aging process. The National Institute on Aging has documented a concerning fact: after 70, we lose approximately 3–5% of our muscle mass every decade if we don't actively work to preserve it. This condition, called sarcopenia, isn't just about looking less toned. It fundamentally affects your ability to perform daily activities. Walking maintains your cardiovascular system, but does almost nothing to preserve muscle tissue, explains Dr. Richards. Muscle requires resistance to maintain itself. Take Martha, a 73-year-old former teacher I met during our research. Martha walked religiously, 30 minutes every day, rain or shine. Yet one afternoon, while carrying a modest bag of groceries from her car, she felt her arms give way. The bag wasn't particularly heavy, but her muscles simply couldn't sustain the load. I was embarrassed and frightened, Martha told me. I'd been walking every day, but I still couldn't manage something as simple as carrying groceries. Under her doctor's guidance, Martha added gentle strength training twice weekly. She started with soup cans as weights and graduated to light dumbbells. Within 3 months, she regained significant functional strength. However, Martha's journey wasn't perfectly linear. She had to reduce intensity when her arthritis flared up and adapt exercises to protect her wrists. One of the most effective exercises Martha incorporated was the chair stand. Here's how to do it safely. Sit toward the front of a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, lean slightly forward, at the hips with your chest slightly lifted. Slowly stand up, using your leg muscles, not your hands if possible. Pause. Then slowly sit back down with control. Start with 5 repetitions and gradually work up to 10–15. If standing completely is too challenging, begin by lifting your body just a few inches off the chair. Remember, strength training doesn't require heavy weights or complicated equipment, but it does require proper form and appropriate intensity for your personal condition. If you have heart issues, joint problems, or other health concerns, please consult with your physician before beginning any strength program. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 30% of people over 70 experience a fall each year, and falls remain the leading cause of injury-related hospitalization in this age group. What many don't realize is that walking, while beneficial for many aspects of health, does surprisingly little to improve your balance systems. Balance is controlled by three interconnected systems, explains neurologist Dr. James Chen. Your inner ear's vestibular system, your visual system, and proprioceptors in your joints and muscles. Walking primarily challenges forward momentum, but doesn't adequately train these systems to respond to unexpected movements or shifts in terrain. Consider George, a 76-year-old retired accountant who never missed his daily neighborhood walk. Despite his consistent activity, George experienced a frightening slip in his bathroom. Fortunately, he caught himself before serious injury occurred, but the incident shook his confidence. "I couldn't understand it," George shared. "I was active every day, yet I still felt unsteady when moving quickly or changing directions." Under his physical therapist's guidance, George began incorporating these exercises. After 6 weeks, his Berg Balance Scale score, a clinical measure of balance, improved by 14 points. However, progress wasn't always smooth. George noticed his balance was particularly compromised on days after taking his allergy medication, a common side effect his doctor helped him manage. One effective exercise George practiced was the supported single-leg stand. Stand near a counter or sturdy chair for support. If needed, slowly lift 1 foot an inch off the ground. Maintaining your balance, hold for 10 seconds, gradually increasing to 30 seconds as you improve. Switch to the other foot and repeat. If this is too challenging, keep your foot just barely off the floor. If it's too easy, try lifting your foot higher or closing one eye. Important: certain medications, including some blood pressure medications, antidepressants, and sleep aids, can affect balance. If you're experiencing unexplained unsteadiness, review your medications with your doctor. Sometimes a simple adjustment can make a significant difference. As we age, a common misconception is that stiffness and decreased mobility are simply a natural part of getting older. However, studies from the University of California show that flexibility can decrease by 3–4% each year after age 70 if not actively maintained. This decline can significantly impact your daily life, making simple tasks like bending down to tie your shoes or reaching for something on a shelf increasingly difficult. Take Helen, a 72-year-old grandmother who was once an avid gardener. Despite her daily walks, she found herself struggling to bend over to tend to her plants. "I always thought I was fit because I walked regularly," Helen shared. "But one day, I realized I couldn't even reach the ground without feeling pain." After consulting with her doctor, Helen started incorporating stretching exercises into her routine, focusing on areas that had become tight over time. Within a few weeks, she experienced a noticeable improvement in her mobility. However, it was essential for her to listen to her body and adjust her routine, especially on days when she felt stiffness from her arthritis. One simple stretch that Helen found helpful is the neck rotation. Sit or stand up straight with your shoulders relaxed. Slowly turn your head to the right until you feel a gentle stretch. Hold for 10–15 seconds. Breathing deeply, return to the center and repeat on the left side. Another effective stretch is the seated forward bend. Sit on the edge of a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the ground. Gently lean forward from your hips, reaching towards your toes. Hold for 15–30 seconds, feeling a stretch in your lower back and hamstrings. If you feel pain while stretching, stop immediately. Stretching should never be painful. It should feel like a gentle release. If you have any existing health concerns, such as a history of back issues, consult your healthcare provider before starting any new stretching routine. Incorporating play can protect your joints and enhance your range of motion, allowing you to move freely and confidently in your daily activities. Remember, it's not just about maintaining flexibility, it's about enhancing your overall quality of life as you age. According to research from the American Physical Therapy Association, a weak core is associated with an astonishing 89% of chronic back pain cases in adults over 70. Yet walking, while beneficial for cardiovascular health, does very little to strengthen these crucial muscles. Your core muscles are the foundation for nearly every movement you make, explains Dr. Sarah Johnson, physical therapist specializing in geriatric care. When these muscles weaken, the spine lacks proper support, leading to poor posture, decreased stability, and often chronic pain. Consider William, a 78-year-old retired engineer who maintained an impressive routine of walking 2 miles daily. Despite his consistency, William struggled with increasingly hunched posture and persistent lower back pain. "I thought I was doing everything right with my daily walks," William explained. "But my doctor pointed out that my forward, leaning posture was actually making my back problems worse." Under professional guidance, William began incorporating gentle, core-strengthening exercises. After 8 weeks, his posture noticeably improved and his back pain diminished significantly. However, William's journey wasn't without challenges. He needed to modify certain exercises due to a degenerative disc condition and learn to pace himself during flare-ups. One of the safest and most exercises William practiced was the wall plank. Stand facing a wall, about arm's length away. Place your palms against the wall at shoulder height, keeping your body straight from head to heels. Lean forward toward the wall, engage your abdominal muscles as you hold this position. Start with 5-10 seconds, gradually building to 30-60 seconds for those with shoulder or wrist issues. This exercise can be modified by placing forearms against the wall instead of hands. Remember to breathe normally throughout the exercise. Holding your breath can increase blood pressure. If you've had abdominal surgery or have been diagnosed with a hernia or other core-related condition, consult your healthcare provider before attempting any core strengthening exercises. When done correctly, core strengthening can dramatically improve posture, reduce back pain, and enhance overall stability benefits you simply won't get from walking alone. A landmark 2021 study from Oxford University examined the effects of different exercise types on joint health in adults over 70. The findings were eye-opening. While some movement is essential for joint health, high-impact repetitive activities can accelerate cartilage deterioration in aging joints. As we age, our cartilage naturally thins and joint fluid production decreases, explains Dr. Michael Roberts, orthopedic specialist. Walking is certainly beneficial, but when it's your only form of exercise, you're repeatedly stressing the same joints in the same way, which can accelerate wear and tear, particularly if you already have some joint damage. Dorothy, a 75-year-old retired nurse with a history of knee replacement surgery, experienced this firsthand. Despite her dedication to daily walks, she found herself unable to walk more than 15 minutes without significant discomfort. "My surgeon had encouraged walking for recovery, so I thought more was always better," Dorothy explained. "But I was actually creating inflammation in my replaced joint and my natural knee as well." Under her orthopedist's guidance, Dorothy began alternating walking with gentle yoga and swimming. This variety allowed her joints to recover while still maintaining activity. 3 months later, her mobility had improved significantly and her pain levels decreased. However, Dorothy learned that she needed to adjust her routine during flare-ups and seasonal changes, which sometimes affected her joint comfort. One excellent low-impact exercise Dorothy incorporated was seated cycling. Sit in a sturdy chair, extend one leg, and trace a circle with your foot. Rotate for 15-20 seconds in each direction. Switch legs and repeat as you progress. Try both legs at once, as if pedaling a bicycle for those with more significant joint issues. This can be modified by tracing smaller circles or using an actual recumbent bike with no resistance. If you have a history of joint replacement, arthritis, or recent joint injury, please consult with your orthopedic specialist before beginning new exercise routines. They can provide personalized guidance based on your specific joint condition and surgical history. Let me be clear, walking remains one of the best activities for overall health as we age. The issue isn't that walking is harmful. It's that walking alone isn't enough, and how you walk matters tremendously. A 2020 Stanford University study of 185 adults over 65 found that proper walking technique reduced joint stress by up to 30% while increasing cardiovascular benefits. Lead researcher Dr. Amanda Wilson noted, most seniors walk inefficiently, which diminishes benefits while increasing joint strain. So what does proper walking technique look like? Keep your head up, shoulders relaxed, and take slightly shorter strides than you might have in your younger years. Your heel should strike first, then roll through to your toes. Aim for a comfortable pace where you can still carry on a conversation. Now, let's address the critical question, how do you combine walking with all the exercises we've discussed? The National Institute of Health recommends this balanced weekly approach for adults over 7 hours a Monday, 15-20 minutes walking plus 10 minutes strength training Tuesday, 15-20 minutes walking plus 10 minutes balance exercises Wednesday, rest or very gentle stretching Thursday, 15-20 minutes walking plus 10 minutes core strengthening Friday, low impact exercise A swimming, chair exercises Saturday, 15-20 minutes walking plus 10 minutes flexibility exercises Sunday, rest or gentle activity of choice. This schedule provides a comprehensive approach while avoiding overtraining. However, this isn't one size fits all. If you're just beginning, start with 5-10 minutes of walking and 5 minutes of strength balance work. If you're more active, you might extend your walking to 30 minutes. The key is consistency and listening to your body. Arthur, an 82-year-old participant in our study, created a modified schedule that accommodated his arthritis flare-ups. I learned to adjust based on how I feel each morning, he shared. Some days I do more, some days less, but I never skip entirely. Remember, quality always trumps quantity, especially after 70. A properly executed 15-minute walk provides more benefit than a painful 30-minute walk with poor form. As we've explored throughout this video, walking is valuable but insufficient on its own for optimal health after 70. Let's recap the 5 that research shows you should incorporate alongside your walking routine. First, strength training to combat sarcopenia and maintain functional independence. Second, balance exercises to prevent falls and build confidence in movement. Third, flexibility work to maintain joint mobility and ease of daily activities. Fourth, core strengthening to support posture and protect your back. And fifth, incorporating low-impact exercises to preserve joint health while still challenging your cardiovascular system. Dr. Elizabeth Richards, whose extensive research we've referenced throughout, puts it this way: the aging body doesn't just need movement, it needs diverse movement. When we challenge different systems in different ways, we build resilience that translates to real-world capability and independence. What's most encouraging about the research is that improvement is possible at any age. Our oldest study participant was 94 when she began incorporating these principles, and she saw measurable gains in strength, balance, and mobility within just 8 weeks. I had resigned myself to declining function, she told us. I never imagined I could feel stronger in my 90s than I did in my 80s. Your body maintains the capacity to adapt and strengthen regardless of your age or current fitness level. The key is beginning where you are, respecting your individual health circumstances, and building consistency over time. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 5 elements do you find most challenging to incorporate into your routine? Or if you're already practicing some of these principles, what improvements have you noticed? Thank you for investing this time in your health and longevity. Remember, it's never too late to begin, and even small changes applied consistently can yield remarkable results. I look forward to seeing you in our next video here on Golden Livings. Before we conclude, I'd like to share some additional resources and insights that couldn't fit into our main discussion, but might enhance your understanding of healthy aging. Throughout this video, you may have noticed visual aids illustrating key concepts. The muscle loss chart, showing the typical 3–5% decline per decade, was based on longitudinal data from the Baltimore Longitudinal Study of Aging, the longest running study on human aging in America. The demonstrations of proper technique were performed by certified senior fitness instructors, many of whom are in their 70s and 80s themselves. We believe in showing realistic examples that represent the diverse capabilities within the senior community. For those interested in the supporting research, I've synthesized findings from multiple peer-reviewed journals, including the Journals of Gerontology, the American Journal of Medicine, and the Journal of the American Geriatric Society. These studies consistently support the 5-factor approach we've outlined today. Many viewers ask about appropriate intensity levels. Remember that perceived exertion is highly individual. On a scale of 1–10, aim for an effort level of 5–6 during exercise. You should be able to speak in short sentences, but not sing comfortably. One question we frisk about recovery time. After 70, your body typically needs 48 to 72 hours to recover from strength training, which is why our recommended schedule alternates between different types of exercise. I want to acknowledge that while these principles apply broadly, individual health conditions may require personalized adaptations. The beauty of Li-Chi, each component can be modified to accommodate various health circumstances. If you found this information valuable, please consider sharing it with friends or family members who might benefit. Our mission at Golden Livings is to empower older adults with evidence-based strategies for maintaining independence and vitality. What topics would you like to see covered in future videos? Your feedback shapes our content, so please share your thoughts in the comments section below.